Good morning and welcome to our webinar, Planning Now for 2017 Recruitment. My name is Gina Pappas and I'm the President of Albers Communications Group. I will be leading today's webinar. If you have questions about the content of today's webinar, my contact information is listed on the closing slide. Please feel free to reach out to me via phone or email if you have any questions at the end of this conference. And with that, we will go ahead and get started. I'd like to tell you a little more about Albers Communications Group before I dive into our discussion on private school recruitment. For more than 15 years, we have partnered with our clients to develop full-service public relations, digital marketing, and video production programs that drive results. Our philosophy is that each of these strategies work best when executed as part of an integrated communication strategy. Our team of experts has experience with private schools, especially recruitment and fundraising, which has provided us with expertise that could be beneficial to helping you achieve your school's goals. In addition, we have experience working with some of the leading profit and nonprofit brands in Omaha and the surrounding areas. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Gina Pappas and I'm the President of Albers. You can follow me on Twitter, connect with me on LinkedIn, or email me directly if you'd like to chat further. My email address is Gina at alberscommunications.com. Let's take a look at what I'll be discussing today. I will start by walking you through what we call the cycle of consideration, which will help you understand how your target audience makes decisions. Then I will take you through the components of an effective communications plan that can help you achieve your goals. Next, I will be sharing more about the specific services Albers offers, and I will close by sharing how you can begin exploring public relations and digital marketing plans for your school's success. This is what we call the cycle of consideration. As you can see, there are 4 steps: awareness, consideration, action, and loyalty, and I'll break down all 4 for you. Awareness means being present in the minds of your prospects for all 4 steps. It's the beginning of the cycle, and it's critical to sustaining the momentum throughout the 4-step cycle. Bringing awareness to your school through integrated communications gets your plan off to a solid start. The next step is consideration. Once prospects are aware of who you are and what you do, it piques their interest to learn more about you and consider your organization as they continue through the decision-making process. Action. When it's time to make a decision, prospects are more likely to consider your organization if they've warmed up to you. This involves staying in front of prospects through channels they use to communicate and having a clear message every step of the way. In this case, taking action is when a student and their parents make the choice to enroll at your school. And loyalty. The courting process doesn't end once enrollment numbers have been met. Ensuring that new and returning families have a positive relationship with your school builds loyalty, which inspires the best kind of PR that money can't buy: word-of-mouth endorsement of your organization. Next, we'll move on to the components of an effective plan. At Albers, we understand the critical components that add up to an effective plan for private schools. They include research, measurable objectives, targeted channels, timelines and responsibilities, and measurement. And I will take you through each of these components on the next several slides and share with you examples of how we've been able to help our education-focused clients manage their plans and subsequently achieve their goals. The first step in developing an effective plan is research. This can mean a variety of things, from formal primary research to informal secondary research. The important thing is that you're building your plan from a place of understanding where you are now, and that is best achieved through research. With research, a good place to start is by identifying your key audiences. If your primary objective is to drive enrollment growth, then you probably have several priority audiences, including current families, prospective families, alumni, and feeder schools. Research allows you to understand attitudes and opinions of your key stakeholders. Gathering opinions from a cross-section of current families, students, and prospective families allows you to see patterns emerge and enables you to focus on the positive trends while thinking of ways to overcome the weaknesses that may come to light during your fact-finding. In addition to creating a foundation for solid decision-making, research will help establish a baseline for your plans. In other words, it paints a picture of where you are now, which will make it much easier to understand and measure how well your strategies have worked as you implement your plan. I'd like to share with you an example of how we've effectively used research for one of our private school clients in Omaha. They enlisted our help with boosting their profile among potential students through a variety of offline and online channels, and we mutually agreed that conducting focus groups with parents of current students, parents of graduates, and alumni would provide us with the foundation upon which to build our plan. The focus groups were successful because they shed light on the school's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and let us build a plan to put the school in the best position possible to increase enrollment. The next component of an effective communications plan is developing measurable objectives. This is the step in which we work together with our clients to set our goals. Possible goals for private schools' communication strategies could include growing recruitment, improving relationships and communications, and meeting fundraising goals. You want to start by identifying outputs. For example, outputs might include the number of media impressions generated by proactive public relations efforts, or by determining the number of posts per week you want to put out on your social channels. Outputs are the what that you're going to measure. Next, set your outcome goals. What do you want to have happen after you receive thousands of media impressions and develop a consistent and engaging social strategy? The answer? You want people to seek you out to learn more. This may mean attending events such as open houses, visiting your website, or calling you to schedule a tour. Lastly, the objectives portion of the plan is when you define what success looks like for your organization. If you want to increase enrollment by 15%, you're creating a benchmark against which to measure your success. And in the next step of the plan, we will work with you to determine the channels and content that will help you get there. Now that you've done the research and identified your goals, it's time to figure out how you're going to get there. Since you learned more about your target audience in the research phase and identified your outputs and outcomes in the objective stage, it should be easier to identify how you're going to reach people. Channels you may want to consider include earned media or achieving exposure for your school through unpaid news stories, and we call this traditional public relations. Digital media, so reaching your audience through channels such as your website, social platforms, email newsletters, blogs, and more. Videos, which allow you to not just tell your story, but also show it in a memorable way that can inspire action in the viewer. Speaking opportunities, which allow you to talk about your school to a highly targeted group of prospective families and students, and when executed properly. And collateral material, so that your organization stays in front of your audience long after they've attended your event or finished their school tour. It's important to note that not all channels are appropriate for all organizations. Be mindful when making determinations about channels and content, because you can always add new strategies, but starting and stopping a strategy because you've bitten off more than you can chew is never advisable. When Creighton Prep here in Omaha was preparing to announce their new president, they turned to Albers for help developing a communications strategy. Our strategy consisted of a press announcement, email to alumni, parents, and students, and social media posts. These strategies allowed us to reach all audiences in the spaces where they prefer to receive information. Additionally, we captured online buzz on social media through our online reputation monitoring service, which allowed us to share with the client what type of sentiment was being shared in light of their big announcement. The next step in creating an effective communications plan is determining your timeline and delegating responsibility. As a leader at your school, it may be a challenge to take the lead on implementing an effective communication strategy. If you have a point person who takes ownership of your plan and can dedicate time to it every day, your odds for success are much greater. Remember what I said earlier about how starting and stopping your communications can hurt you more than it helps? This is where that becomes relevant and is why it's critically important to have someone take charge of your communications plan. As part of their role, your communications lead should develop realistic timelines for all projects and build in checkpoints along the way to ensure tasks are being executed on time and on budget. We firmly believe that measuring your plan not just at its conclusion but along every step of the way can help ensure its success. The measurement phase is when you circle back to the measurable objectives or goals that you created early on in the planning process. Depending on the content and channels that are part of your plan, you will be able to determine how you will measure your success. Some examples to consider may include number of media stories placed, social media growth, event attendance, brand awareness, and how your strategies impacted enrollment and growth. One of our clients enlisted our help with boosting their recruitment. As a result of our campaign, which included integrated strategies such as media relations, social media management, and video production, the client had 55% more new students in the fall of 2013 than the fall of 2012. This was the largest new student enrollment in 30 years. To keep pace with this growth and to support the school's long-range strategic plan, the school also launched a fundraising campaign to support the areas of academics, athletics, facilities, technology, and security. The 18-month fundraising campaign surpassed its goal by 17% through an integrated communications plan that included personalized case statements, a campaign brochure, a campaign video, media outreach, a speakers bureau, and robust social media content. Before I conclude today's presentation, I'd like to briefly share with you the services we offer here at Albers Communications Group that can be utilized in an integrated approach to increase enrollment and fundraising efforts. Our public relations services include strategic planning. We believe that every good strategy and execution starts with the plan. So we will sit down with our clients and go through the strategic planning process. If it's determined at that point that research is necessary, then we will conduct primary or secondary research based on the client's needs. We offer media training. We never advise going into a media interview cold. So we want to make sure our clients are prepared for every time they step in front of a camera or talk to a journalist. Fundraising communications, as you can see, we have a lot of experience with private schools, both at the secondary and post-secondary level, and our expertise in fundraising lends itself to perhaps helping your school achieve its fundraising goals. Crisis planning and management, we firmly believe that every organization should have a crisis plan in place, and if you don't, then you're potentially missing a critical part of your communications strategy. And event planning. Event planning is something that we have been able to help clients with, again, on the education side, whether it's an open house or a fundraiser, we can help you get there. And our digital marketing services include strategic planning. Again, if you're looking to Albers to help you execute an online strategy, we always start with that planning piece. Social media management, from developing the content on your behalf to posting it for you to managing the response, we can take care of your social media strategy from top to bottom, start to finish. Website development, if you need a new website, we can build you a new website. If you have an existing website that needs some tweaks, we can get into it and make it better and make it achieve your goals. Blogging, we offer blogging services for our clients. Some clients prefer to write their own blogs. Some prefer to turn to us. We will work with the clients who desire a blogging strategy to come up with the most effective execution for that. Email marketing, which can be a very effective way to stay in front of prospective students and their families as well as current students and their families. And reputation management, especially if you're making a big announcement, you may want to have your finger on the pulse of what could be said online. So we offer reputation management for the online space for all of our clients as well. And last but not least, our video production services. We offer full-service video production with our in-house team of specialists, and those services include everything from start to finish: the pre-production phase, script and concept development, graphics, animation, filming, editing, post-production, and determining where and how you're going to use the video and where it should be shown. If you would like to discover how our integrated public relations, digital marketing, and video production can benefit your school, please reach out to me via phone or email. I can be reached at 402-292-5553 extension 9 or via email at Gina, Gina, at alberscommunications.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We wish you the best of luck with your school's strategy, and we hope to speak with you soon. Thank you.